Hey guys, Nikita here and welcome to this lighting tutorial where we will light this lighter here. And yeah, so check out my first part of this tutorial where we create like this model here in Plasticity, link in the description, or you can also, if you just want like that object and just follow along, you can also download this as a Plasticity file and an OBJ. So you can directly start with the lighting. What we will do is we have to export it. So just go here again, export save as, and this will be like our lighter export, and save it as an OBJ and press save. And yeah, then you will get here something like that. But I've tried it with N-gons, but I have like some shading errors in Cinema4D. So with that, we will just go here with tries and just, yeah, bring the density. You start something like that. That would be also fine. But because we will light only like the lighter, I like to give it like a lot of detail. So it just looks like very, very clean in the render. And when you, bump up like here the density, like you see, you have too much topology here. So just activate like this min width and just crank up a little bit this value here. You see, to adjust like how much detail you want here on the fillets. So yeah, maybe we don't even need so much detail, but yeah, anyways, go with high poly. So yeah, and you can just export it then. And then also just imported it like in Cinema4D. You see, everything looks like very nice. I will just delete like this material here and just rotate it. Perfect. Now I will just adjust here and I will make it a square. Start your Octane render. And yeah, first of all, again, like this is here the reference. And yeah, was like my final render. So we will do something like that. And you see, we have like an infinite white backdrop. So we get like the shadows here. And let's do that. So first of all, I will just make it a little bit bigger. So what we will do is just add like a simple plane. This is fine. And NB, so we see the topology, and give it just like one and one segment. I press C and I will go to the edge mode, and just with control click, I will drag it up. And now to this plane, we will just add like a bevel deformer. So now we can offset it and give it like some subdivisions, and that looks fine. Okay, let's create the camera, go into the camera and go to the coordinates and just zero here everything out. And I think we have to put it a little bit down. Perfect. And now I just go to F2 to another here to the top view and go to the perspective. So I can, maneuver in the viewport, and I will adjust like the camera, but we also need like a much more like 150 millimeters focal length. So, or yeah, maybe something 120. And yeah, now just let's go a little bit up with the camera and just try to position like how it is in our reference. So yeah, we will just take like the object here and yeah, just having a little bit of fun, and yeah, just bounce it a little bit around. So perfect, something like that. And now I just want to go to the Octane settings, and for a photorealistic look, we definitely want here on the direct as a kernel the path tracer, because that will be just much more photorealistic. And let's give it just right now 500 samples. We don't need so much diffuse depth, and we don't have specular, so we don't need it. Also GI clamp, we don't need like 1 million. We need something like 5, but we can adjust it later. And also, so it just renders faster, activates adaptive samples. And yeah, this is what I use in 95% of my product rendering. So I have it here as a preset. Awesome. And now I go to the F2 mode, and I will just add an HDI environment. And it's just black because we don't have any. And let's just, add any HDI environment for now. So we just, will adjust like the materials, and then we will make like our own lighting. So you see, that looks absolutely already cool. And cool. So if we go here to our reference and check out the materials, we have here a metallic rough material, again with some bump. So just a little bit, you see like a grain of a texture. So that is really cool. And then, yeah, like just a metallic dark material here and here, also a little bit of bump here. And yeah, like that image is like very low resolution, but we have, you see it like some scratches. So we will add some scratches. And yeah, like obviously like the background. And yeah, the flame I will just do with Photoshop because yeah, it's like super fast. So let's do that. So I will start with this metallic material. So just this metallic material, just bring it on the body. And yeah, cool. So we go into that. And first of all, let's give it like this bump. So we just create here an octane noise and go to bump. You see, we get something like that. Press a right click solo node. So you see how it's affecting the material, and add the transform mode and the projection mode. Make the projection mode to box. And now the transform has to go like very, very low. Something like that. And now you see it's too rough. It's because the noise is too strong. So we just add again an octane gradient between it and just make the white value like very, very dark, and bam, you see that looks so cool already, but you still see it's still too strong. So maybe let's go with like 5% or so. And also you see it's still too big. We just need it. Yeah, look guys. Oh God, this is, I just love it. Always add like some bump when you have something like that. But also now we have to go to the roughness and just add a bit more roughness. And yeah, maybe it doesn't look right now as it should because it's off the lighting, but we will do like our own lighting in a second. And also to add like this color, obviously, yeah, you can adjust it better in Photoshop, but right now just go to specular and go like to kind of an orange tone and just add a little bit. Yeah, you see, so something like that. And we need more roughness, much more roughness. Yeah, something like that. And in the specular, just make it darker so it's not so bright. So perfect, something like that for now. But yeah, we will adjust it again in a second. We are just doing like the general stuff right now. So let's create like this, let's call it body. Let's create like this thing here with the scratches. So again, it's a metallic material. Let's drag it onto that. And we go again into the material, and let's add it again, just an octane noise to the bump, and let's zoom in a little bit. And yeah, that looks horrible. So again, just a transform mode, projection mode, make it to box and make it very, very small. And you see again, it's too strong. So octane render gradient and make the white value much, much darker. Cool. This is fine. And we can make it even smaller. Perfect. So you see, we just give it like a nice texture. And maybe a little bit of roughness, or maybe let's add now the scratch map. Yeah, I have like here some roughness map. Let's check it out, how that will look. And just right click. And again, we need a projection node and just make it as a box. Yeah, something like that. And maybe now just a transform mode, and let me just see like this whole piece here. So yeah, we have to adjust it a little bit. So yeah, maybe something like that. And you don't see anything because it's just, yeah, too strong. So again, an octane gradient, and just again, let's go right click to the gradient. And now we just bring everything a little bit closer. So we just have a little bit more contrast, and you see the scratches will be just much stronger to see. Yeah, you see, we get, yeah, the scratches, and just bring like those two values here up a bit, because otherwise you don't have so much contrast, but we need like a lot of contrast because, yeah, it's just very subtle. So maybe make this a little bit brighter. Yeah, honestly, I love that, but maybe not so strong. And now also go to the specular. And because you see, it's just like, too bright. It's just catching too much light. So we just want to bring like the specular a little bit down. So yeah, it's getting dark, and let's see how everything looks. And yeah, maybe even the specular map, but we will have to see it in a second. So first of all, let's create like the material for this part and this part. And I don't think there will be like so many scratches and not so much like bump. So we can just, let's call it, like scratches. And control click and drag it. And let's call it like details. And this detail material we will drag onto the details and go into it. And first of all, let's lower even more like the bump and make this gray value in the gradient just darker. So yeah, we have it a little bit more clean because it looks just a little bit more glossy. And maybe for that, we can just add a little bit more of roughness. Oh, I mean, like this darkest value, just give it like 2% or something, or a little bit more. So we just have like a little bit more roughness. Perfect. So press NQ so we don't see the materials in the viewport. And guys, that looks already amazing, but we will do it even better. So now I just want to add like an Octane glossy material here to this ground, to this backdrop, and go into the glossy material and give it like roughness. So yeah, you don't have like those glossy reflections. And guys, I like that already a lot. So what we could do now is just rotate maybe a little bit like the HDRI. And by the way, just type in like HDRI Light Studio free pack. You get like 25 amazing HDRIs, like Studio HDRIs. They are really, really good. And I use them, like if I use HDRI, I use mostly them, and that's already enough. And perfect. So now let's just create like a little bit more of our own lighting. So I will go to the HDRI and just make it a little bit darker, but still bright. So yeah, we just fill in a little bit like of the shadows. And now maybe let's make it a little bit smaller and select the lighter here and create an Octane targeted area light. Visibility, uncheck those here, and light settings also make it not so strong. And also go again to the camera and camera imager and bump up the highlight compression. So it's just so you don't run into over blowing. And yeah, here we see on the top, so we have somewhere on the top like a main light source because we have like this highlight here. So let's try to recreate that. So we can make it a little bit stronger and also just give it a little bit of a better quality. Go to the distribution, Cinema4D Octane, and just fall off map. Go into the fall off map and change it to 90 degrees. So yeah, you kind of have like a softbox or something. And perfect. And yeah, here you see it's just more smooth because the geometry is also on the original more smooth. But this is fine for here. And also you see like the light is a little bit more on the left. So it's like we have like our main light source a bit more here on the left. So yeah, I'm just adjusting here a little bit. Maybe make it just a little bit thinner. Perfect. And now we just want to add a little bit of a lighting here to the right side. So let's just control click and just bring it here on the other side and make the second light not so strong. So perfect. That looks fine. Just one main light here on the left. So we get like this highlight, but other than that, we don't have so much light because you see like this whole right side is dark. So something like that. And yeah, it looks a little bit different because yeah, like our geometry here is a little bit too smooth. But also here, like we have like this reflection here. So the same as here. And yeah, I'm not sure if that lighting is photorealistic, but we could add it in Photoshop if you want. And also we want just go here to our scratches material and go here to specular map and just make it even darker. So yeah, it's not getting so much specular, so it's just a little bit darker. And yeah, maybe we can rotate like our lighter here just a tiny bit more. So yeah, oh yeah, that looks much better here. And maybe bring the camera just a little bit more down. So perfect, that looks fine. And maybe you can go to our Octane glossy material, because you see it's just a little bit too dark. So yeah, make it just brighter. That looks fine. And also here, yeah, little detail. If you check like this detail, and also if you go to this detail, we have like here, yeah, 1 or 2 more additional light sources. So one here should be on the top. So let's also add this, and also it will just brighten up a little bit like our backdrop. So I will take this light here and just control click, drag it. I will just, yeah, you see now already we have like this highlight here, and maybe make it a little bit brighter. And yeah, just to get like this, highlight here, and yeah, don't make it too strong. We really want only like here to brighten up everything just a tiny little bit, you see. And now activate everything, and amazing. But yeah, we have here more shadows than in ours, but it's just like a little bit of a different geometry. So perfect, that looks fine for now. Yeah, of course we can adjust everything, but I want to keep the tutorial short and just teach you the techniques, but it's pretty close in just 20 minutes. And of course you can just position and play a little bit more around with the lighting, but yeah, for now it's pretty fine. And also here in the reference, you see we have a little bit of vignette and obviously the flame. So let's just render everything out with render passes, because then we can just, make a little bit stronger shadow, and yeah, just add some additional light passes. So go here to the render settings, render AUV group, enable it. And also go here to Octane Render, to the main, and make it linear sRGB. And also here EXR Octane and 32-bit. So we can add like crypto mats. So go here to render AUV group, and yeah, we can add here our crypto mats. So here you see now we will get in Photoshop as a layer all of those different layers that we can then select. So we will select this main body and add like the shadow behind it and just add the mask. So this is perfect. And also here double click on shadow. So you see we need like this part here, and we will just multiply it over the image then. And yeah, maybe we can add like a little bit of reflection. I'm not sure if we will need it, but yeah, other than that, that's pretty fine. So save everything, and also here output 2K. We don't need like the save, because yeah, we will save it here and call it like lighter render passes. Enter. And also here save beauty and denoise beauty. So you also have like the denoise beauty pass, and save it. And let's just go in a little bit more and just see if everything looks fine, and look like those scratches looks perfect. And in general, everything looks very fine. So maybe give it like 1K samples or something, and let's render out and see you in Photoshop. Awesome. So now you have the EXR file here, and you need like the OpenEXR or OpenIO or something plugin. I will link it in the link in the description. Just download it and install it, very easy. And then you can just double click it here and just open, and then you will get here, and you see we have like all of those different crypto mats and also like our beauty. And first of all, I don't need those layers here. And guys, you see, yeah, it's just 2K, but yeah, perfect scratches. And like, look, this texture here. And yeah, this light is a little bit overblown, but yeah, anyway. And also here you have the crypto matte passes. So you see, you can just select this layer with control click and give it the mask. And then you only have like a perfect selection of that. So we will definitely need this. Perfect. And before we start with the compositing, if you want to learn how to create really photorealistic 3D work, so you can build like an amazing portfolio and get high-paying clients, you can go to my website, press on coaching, and I'm offering two packages. So one is the premium membership with like all of those masterclasses and courses I have for product rendering, like LinkedIn, how to grow and content strategy, portfolio. Like you will access to our Ultimate 3D community and weekly group coaching calls and yeah, some other stuff. So you can just read through. Or if you want to work with me one-on-one to get like the fastest results, I have a one-on-one coaching for 3 months with weekly coaching calls with me. And you will have everything included from the premium membership. Then check out, schedule a free strategy session so you can get to know me and I can get to know you. And we can just discuss like your strategy and your goals and also like here FAQ. So check that out. And let's start here. So first of all, let's work a little bit here with the shadow pass. So you see, like in the original, we just want a little bit more shadows. So what we could do is just bring the shadow pass here on the top, enable it, and select with control click all of those pieces here. So with control shift, select this part, and this part. So you see all of our lighter is selected. And now our shadow pass is also selected and just create a mask. And you have to invert the mask. So go to the mask, press Ctrl I. And you see, we just added only those shadows here where we need them. So this is exactly what we need. And also just go here, because if we check out the mask, we still have like a little bit here of the selection. So I just press B with the brush and just brush out all of those pieces here that I don't want to affect. Perfect. So again, just alt click and bam, guys, you see, and maybe you can just put it like into multiply blending mode and maybe make it less strong. And also you have to go to image mode and just 16-bit and don't merge. And yeah, so this is what we need right now. And yeah, obviously I love it. And also we could just add like a vignette right now already. So just create like a new layer here on the bottom or here above the beauty and just create here like a circle. So yes, just bring it in the middle, press Ctrl Shift I to invert it and Alt and backspace. So you just add, yeah, like this thing here, and that looks like James Bond, you know, but we have to go to filter and blur and Gaussian blur and make it like really, really high. Yeah, something like that. And now just bring like the whole opacity completely down. And control click, maybe just make it a little bit bigger. So you see, we just add a little bit more of a darkness. So this is fine for now. And now let's just add like this flame. I have here some fire and maybe just add this for now. So perfect. Bring it over and make it like screen blending mode and bring it with V just a little bit over. And you see, like when you're screen blending mode, like if you have bright places, then it's just showing a little bit. So yeah, we could cheat a little bit. We just create like a new layer, press B and make it very smooth, that brush, and give it maybe just 5%. So just type 0.5, then you have opacity 5%. And you can just tap here just a few times. So you see, you're just making only this spot a little bit darker. So yeah, this is fine for now. And now we can just go to the top layer and press Ctrl, Shift, Alt and E for buttons. So we just bring here, you see everything to one layer. Right click, convert to smart object. So we can come back to it and go to filter. And first of all, let's save it and save it now as a PSD. And now we can go to filter, camera, raw filter, and just adjust everything a little bit and bring everything a little bit more together. So we could add just, yeah, I like the color balance, maybe -1, a little bit contrast, maybe a little bit brighter everything. And yeah, the highlights, go a little bit down with them. The shadows, make them a little bit brighter. little bit clarity, so we get a little bit more texture and just a little bit more contrast, and also add like a little bit texture so we can just emphasize, yeah, okay, you should, yeah, like mask that fire a little bit out, because yeah, that edge looks a little bit weird. But yeah, and also again, just go here to the effects, add a little bit of grain to give it a little bit more of a texture and just a little bit photorealism. And again, just a tiny bit of a vignette. If we press P, you see, yeah, that looks already much, much better. And like the contrast and like the lighting is just perfectly beautiful. So press OK and let's just compare it. And guys, that looks absolutely beautiful. It's like almost exactly as the reference, but I like mine even more. But maybe just like here, the lighting is a little bit overblown. But yeah, so the shadows are cool. Like the fire, like the lighting. Perfect. So if you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss any other videos. And check out the next video if you haven't yet, where we will create like photorealistic lighting for this hairdryer that I've created. Have a nice day and see you in the next one. Bye.